Hello, guys. Welcome back. Today's podcast, we are going to discuss about genetics and its role in obesity. So this is our lecture series on obesity science and understanding obesity science. My name is Fatima Iqbal. I'm a board certified internal medicine physician who also specializes in obesity medicine. My purpose is to inform the general public and my patients about obesity in general so they understand their disease the same way that we learn about obesity in medical school and in specialized courses. I think it's best for the general public to have an understanding since it's such a big part of our life and is such a big process of what most doctors see in their clinic. So obesity not only is influenced by diet and your lifestyle, but also genes play a major part in obesity. And that is what we are going to discuss today is how genes actually play a part in patients or people being obese. So understanding the types of genes that are out there. So when we describe genes, we say, well, some patients have a monomorphic type of a genetic makeup, in which case they are predisposed to obesity. They're not very common. These patients from an early onset of age have the genetic susceptibility towards obesity. Um, However, these are more uncommon patients that are encountered, uncommon people that have obesity. The majority of the people actually have a polymorphic makeup of genetic variability in which they are more susceptible to obesity as long as they're also being exposed to a obesogenic environment, which is an environment where it is easy to get obese, and that includes our fast food restaurants, that includes a Western diet, that includes processed food. So it's easy for them to get obese. That includes a sedentary lifestyle. So these patients are more prone to obesity, and there is a wide range of variability in how they are responding to a certain diet as well. So it's not as simple as, well, I have been exposed to a Western diet, or I live in a Western society where we have a lot of um, capability of having fast food restaurants, ease of access of food, processed foods, boxed foods. So it's very easy, and food is readily available. Let's just put it that way: readily available, more processed, more delicious, if you will. So in that case, this environment is more obesogenic. Uh, Leptin is an important hormone that is released by the fat cells, and this hormone has a lot of genetic susceptibility to it as well. So the purpose of this hormone is when it is released, it actually promotes satisfaction after we eat. It makes us full and tells the body, hey, you're full, you don't need to eat no more, and also helps expend energy as well. And whenever you expend energy, that means you're burning fat. You're burning the calories that you have eaten. So the leptin hormone also is a hormone that it has been shown that it can also be impacted by genes as well. And if it is impacted, it is downregulated, which means there's not much of it. So that effect of being able to say, hey, I'm full is gone or is reduced because leptin is not being expressed. It is not being expressed by the patients who actually have developed obesity because they are unable to say, hey, this is enough. I'm full. I don't need any more. So this is an important hormone to understand. It acts on the hypothalamus to release melanocyte stimulating hormone, which actually promotes satisfaction. And this hormone can be impacted when it comes to polymorphic genes or the polymorphic form of obesity, in which case the pathways are disrupted, which end up causing obesity. So an important hormone to understand is leptin and its genetic susceptibility, which actually promotes obesity. Other things that are important to understand when it comes to genes as well is that different people with different genetic makeup, even though it is a very small part of the genes that is responsible for obesity, different people with different genetic makeup, they're going to respond differently to a certain diet. Um, we hear a lot about diets. We have, intermittent fasting. Hey, I lost a lot of weight on this, or I lost a lot of weight on ketogenic diet. I lost a lot of weight on Atkins or Zone or the Noom diet. So a lot of patients are um, either they're successful with the diet or they are not. So it is possible that the genes that they have make one person more or less susceptible to being successful when they follow a certain diet. Because not everybody is going to respond the same way to a certain diet, to a certain medication, to a certain way of life. So many people, they have that variability with them. And that is why it is important to consider seeing an obesity specialist or someone who specializes in obesity medicine, because a lot of times doctors even fail to understand that this is an important aspect. Not everybody that you say, hey, why don't you try this diet, is going to actually benefit from it. There is a variability in a way that the patients are responding to different diets, and different medications as well. So it is highly possible that you may start a patient on Ozempic and they may not respond to it. So, it is such a big deal nowadays to consider GLP-1s, but, not everybody, unfortunately, can respond to them. And that is because of their genetic makeup. So that this is important for the physicians to understand. This is important for the patients to understand that just because something worked for somebody else in your family or something worked for your friends, it may not work for you because you are a different person. You have different genes, and so there is variability in how people respond. And it's important for my patients, for you guys to understand that there is variability in how we respond to diet, to exercise, to different parts of our life in which we are trying to lose weight but are not having too much success with it. And that includes the newer medications as well. The same way that a patient is genetically prone towards obesity, there are patients who are genetically prone towards thinness. Many will say, oh, lucky you. But there are patients who transcribe those genes that actually help them stay thin. So, like I said, everybody is different in the way that they take in the genes. And so there are patients out there that actually have the genes for thinness. And so, you will always hear that, oh, no matter what he eats or what she never gains any weight. So, and that's possible because of the way that they transcribe their genes. Perhaps they have more of the way that they transcribe leptin, and they're always satisfied with what they eat. So it's very different for everybody. So it's very important to understand that obesity impacts people in different ways. Not everybody responds in the same way. Not everybody is made up the same way. Um, so we discussed about how weight loss treatments can vary between individuals. So this is a very interesting field of research now. A lot of times, these researches are the future, basically, in my opinion, where they are trying to study to see perhaps, can we target a certain diet for a certain genetic makeup of a person? And if that happens, that's going to be amazing because that can pinpoint the genes that you may have and what type of a diet is going to be more beneficial for you, what kind of a medication, without doing a trial and error set like we do now, to see what kind of medication, what kind of diet, what kind of lifestyle changes are going to help you in particular lose weight. So this was a short lecture, but it was this lecture was important for me to give because I do want people to understand how genetics play a part in obesity. And I do get a lot of questions about that. So I think it's important for all of us to understand that we all have a different genetic makeup. And the way that our makeup can be, we may respond to a certain diet or certain medication in a certain way. So if you do feel that a certain diet is not working out for you, or a medication, it's not the failure of the doctor or the failure um, of yourself. Actually, it's simply because those genes may be different in your case. It may not work in your case, and so we should try different things for you. We should try a set of medications, perhaps a different diet for you, to see what will work for you. Hopefully you found this lecture important, and please continue to follow me, continue to subscribe to my channel. I will continue to present useful information for you in obesity science, so everybody can be on the same page and have the same understanding as physicians do of obesity medicine. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next lecture. Please make sure to subscribe and go to my website at www.fatmaiqbalmd.com to learn more about obesity medicine. Thank you.